Welcome everybody to Yost Ice Arena. My name is Zach Warshaw alongside Kendall Spencer for WCBN's inaugural women's hockey broadcast here, having Michigan against Michigan State. Michigan is ranked number 5 in the country, coming off a win against Grand Valley State University. They sit at 2-0 on the year in conference play. Michigan State also is 2-1 in conference play, right behind University of Michigan. Starting in goal for the Spartans today, we're going to have number 30, Isabella Van Solkema. And for Michigan, it's going to be number 41, Sandrine Poneth. And we're off as Michigan wins the faceoff. Julia Lindahl goes up the left-hand side, crosses into the slot in the middle. Broken up by a Michigan State defenseman. Lindahl will recover it behind the net. Passes right in front to Mazalewski. Mazalewski goes around, right inside, passes in front, back to Lindahl, and she'll take a shot and score. Didn't get all of that, but it still trickled in right past the goalie, Van Solkema. So Michigan's going to take an early 1-0 lead here against the Spartans.
Yeah, it came off of Lindahl's stick on kind of an awkward angle. I think Van Solkema thought there was going to be more on it and kind of reacted accordingly. Just a little late there. Didn't seem like she was ready for the kind of shot that was going to be. And great positioning by Lindahl to be there and get the shot off.
Absolutely. Looked like it was trying to be a one-timer there, but didn't get all of it, but to their benefit. So Wolverines take a 1-0 lead. Play restarts here. Puck trickles into the Michigan defensive zone. German will just send it around the side. Pass into the middle of the ice, scooped up again by the Wolverines going up the right-hand side. German's just going to dump it in. Michigan will make a change here. Rushing in is Lindahl, though, behind the net. Drops it back off from Mazalewski on the right-hand side. Pass it back to her defenseman. Takes a shot, deflected by Samantha Carr, however, it just goes wide. Back out to neutral zone now. Michigan recollects. They'll just dump it back in again while they finish their change. The Spartans go back to collect on defense with Kalasani.
Carr was in the exact same spot from the previous goal, and Van Solkema wasn't going to make that mistake again.
Michigan State has it in their own zone now, right behind the net. Nikki Siliano has it for the Spartans. Tries to send it up the boards, but it's blocked by the Wolverines. Scrum goes on the left-hand side, right above the circle. Send around to the far side of the zone. Michaela McGough will try to keep it in for the Wolverines. She does successfully. Back to the D, the shot taken. Blocked away by Van Solkema. Sorry, trying to get the names right here.
Another second chance opportunity for the Wolverines from right in front of the net. The Spartans just don't seem to be setting up well or having eyes on the Wolverines, and they're getting wide open opportunities from 1 foot in front of Van Solkema.
Absolutely. In the meantime, a shot is taken here by Gustafson, easily corralled by Van Solkema, so there'll be a face-off right to the right of the Michigan State net. Michigan State wearing their all-green tonight, going from right to left. Michigan's vice versa, and they're white with blue pants. Michigan wins the face-off, back to the defenseman, Gargiulo. Still in the zone, however, Michigan will lose possession. Michigan State then loses possession immediately, so it goes back to the Wolverines. Right from the net, a shot on net by Lindahl, however, just right into the pad, so nothing going. Kept in the zone by Gargiulo. Great keep by the defender. Michigan State will collect, though. Out to neutral zone now. Mazalewski has it for the Wolverines at the midline. She'll just dump it in. Lindahl chasing into the zone, trying to beat Leonard. She won't be able to. Michigan State collects the puck on the right side with Asher Princeton. Princeton sends it back to her defenseman, who will launch it up the ice. Was intended for Mackenzie Huber, however, just a little too much power on that, so it'll be an icing call, and it'll go back down to the Michigan State defensive zone.
Great start for the Wolverines. I mean, obviously they already have a goal on the board, but just even not in terms of scoring, they have been much better positioned than the Spartans have throughout this, really first 2.5 minutes of this one. They've been quicker to the pucks, they've reacted better, and they've made better passes.
Michigan State wins the draw, tries to clear, but it's blocked by their own player. Katie German will try to keep it in, however, she'll lose control of it, and it'll go back out to center ice. Isabel German for Michigan collects it, passes it over to the other German, Katie German. And it's dumped back into the zone as Michigan State's Schlee goes to collect it. Coming out of their own zone now on the right side, passed ahead, intended for Reineck. Got a hand on it, so it won't be an icing as German collects it behind her own net. Tries to get it out, and Michigan State can't keep it in. That was Mia Gasolini trying to keep it in for the Spartans, not able to. They'll send it in now and make a change. Michigan will collect it. Katie German behind her own net. Pass it over to Isabel German. Middle ice pass broken up. Nobody can really get a handle on it. Michigan State will finally collect it at the top of the zone. Ciliano has it. Again, tried to pass it over to Reineck in the middle of the ice, however, a little too much power on it. Michigan State will be able to collect it in the Michigan defensive zone, though. Making a change all by herself is Anna Robluski down there. Robluski has no one to pass it to, so it'll be taken away by Malazewski for Michigan. Passed up the ice, intended for Lindahl on the left-hand side. She's going to scrum with Gracie Anderson of Michigan State right in front of the Spartan bench. Nobody can get anything moving down there right now. Finally taken away by the Wolverines. It'll be dumped in by Lucy Hansen. She goes to chase it. Julia Lindahl will finally get possession of it right at the hash mark. Tries to pass it over to Hansen, however, not good. Lindahl now has it. Passed it right to the center of the ice. No one there, though, so it'll be cleared by Michigan State's Claire Leonard. On the center ice now, the Spartans have it. They'll again just dump into the Michigan zone, make a change. So Michigan will collect behind their own net and head up the right-hand side. It is Michaela McGough down there. Big hit by Lee of Michigan State. Michigan retains possession, though. Shot from about the top of the circle from Katie Cummings. However, it's easily corralled by Van Solkema, so no real threat there.
Yeah, she's definitely had more to do so far in this game. Spartans haven't really managed to get anything set up offensively. They've done a better job. They've gotten it into their zone a couple times, but they've made some, I don't know, maybe hasty line changes. There was a moment earlier, I think with Mickelson, where I thought maybe she had a chance to try and drive to the net, but just decided otherwise to dump it in.
Yeah, there's a lot of dumping and changing going on, not a lot of set plays. Michigan State now has in the neutral zone as they head across center ice. Taken away, though, by Samantha Carr of Michigan. She'll try to send it ahead for Katie Cummings, however, a little too much power on it, so Michigan State will clear it right back to center ice, though, where Michigan takes over again. Ava Gargiulo sends it across the ice. Still at the neutral zone now. Samantha Carr tries to get it in, loses control, so Michigan State takes it. Stolen away now by Samantha Carr, behind the Michigan State net, looking for anyone to pass to. Loses control of it, Michigan State has it now. Sends it up to Morgan Lieb. Morgan Lieb trying to get around Ava Gargiulo, not able to. Loses her stick, so Michigan will be able to retake possession. Samantha Carr now has it on the left-hand side. Surrounded by two Spartans trying to get past it. Is able to break free, and Grace Bobby will take it for the Wolverines. Big hit, though, again. She'll lose possession.
And there's a call on that. I think it's going to be a trip.
It will be a penalty on the Spartans, so less of a big hit and more of a just tripped her.
That is a trip.
So Michigan will go on the power play now with 14-11 left in this first period. Michigan still holding a 1-0 lead. Not sure. They still haven't sent anyone to the actual box yet. They're like discussing what's going on.
Yeah, waiting to see who that's going to be against. It looks like it's going to be Lieb.
They're going to call it on Lieb. Confusion as she was already on the bench, so she had to come back off and go to the box.
And a great opportunity for the Wolverines, who have already done a great job in this one of taking advantage of the Spartans. Maybe just, you know, not quite ready defense.
Not quite ready defense and unable to put anything together offensively so far as Michigan wins the faceoff. The defenseman Ferris has it at the top of the zone, over to Carr on the right-hand side. Passes it quickly over to Mazalewski, sends it right to the slot, however, right into the feet of, that looked like Hannah Weinman, so unable to get control of it, and the Spartans will send it back out. Maddie Ferris will collect it for the Wolverines in her own zone. Sent up the ice now for Lindahl. Lindahl across her own blue line, into the zone, past the goal line, circling around Michigan State's goaltender. Passes it back to the point with Samantha Carr. Carr back over to Ferris. Ferris sends it ahead to the hash mark for Carr. Pass intended for Lindahl, looked like, but broken away by the Spartans as they take it up now. Mackenzie Huber for the Spartans will just dump it in, try to drain this penalty. Michigan will recollect it behind their own net. Sends it up to the left-hand side for Lucy Hansen. Lucy Hansen sends it cross ice to Mazalewski on the right. Over the blue line into the zone now at the hash marks. turns around looking for anybody to pass to as she's surrounded by 2 Michigan State players. Behind the back to Carr, takes a shot right into the chest of, right into the chest of Van Solkema, falls down and backhanded in by the Wolverines to take a 2-0 lead on the power play goal. I didn't see who took that shot.
The initial shot, I'm not sure, but it looks like it'll be a second goal for Lindahl, as she was right next to the net, able to collect there. And just once again, she put herself in a great place, and she was able to take advantage of it for her second goal of the night.
Her positioning is on fire right now, as that gives her 6th goal of the year and 8th point, which leads the Wolverines by a good amount. Lucy Hansen's the only one close with 3 goals. So Julia Lindahl, the Wayzata High School prospect, making a name for herself early on for Michigan here. Meanwhile, it'll be sent into the Michigan State Spartan zone. They're back to collect it, though, with Oakley Mickelson behind the net. She'll try to send ahead middle of the ice. Going up now, Ashley Campbell over to the Michigan blue line. Tries to send it in. Can't beat Katie German to the puck, though, so Michigan will recollect. Michigan tries to send it ahead for Gracie Garbati, however, a little too much power on it, so that'll be an icing and it'll go back into the Michigan defensive zone.
And going back to those 2 goals, the first problem for the Spartans was defensively. They were way too spread out. They didn't have anybody in front of the net. It seemed like they kind of overcorrected there for a minute, and they got really bunched up, and everybody was right in front, right on top of each other. And then obviously on the penalty kill, they spread out again, but they didn't have anyone, kind of monitoring right in front of the net. And again, Lindahl was able to get right in there and take full advantage of it.
One of the cardinal rules, you can't leave back door wide open, and they've done it twice now, leading to Lindahl having a 2-goal game already in this first period. Michigan State has it now at the Michigan blue line. However, she's surrounded by 4 Wolverines. Still has it. Weekly backhands it to the net, and it's easily blocked away by Isabel German. Now Katie German has it behind the net. We'll pass it back to Isabel. Isabel has it on the right-hand side. Sends it up for Grace Bobby. Bobby will send it up to Hansen, who just dumps it as Michigan will make a change, and Michigan State goes back to collect. Tried to send up for Olivia Reinick there. However, Allison Flezar is able to knock it away, so Michigan will be able to collect it in their own zone now. Pass center ice for Allison Flezar. Flezar going over her own blue line. Broken up by Michigan State. A couple players convened on her, and she lost the puck, so it'll be collected by Claire Leonard behind her own net. Still at the hash marks now, trying to clear this out. Michigan State can't seem to get it out of the zone. Michigan will retain possession now with Katie Cummings right in the slot, takes a snapshot right into the chest of Van Solkema, so it'll be a save and missed opportunity there for the Wolverines with 11 minutes remaining in this first period.
Wolverines just, at least what I'm noticing, to start, obviously we're not even halfway through the first, they just look quicker. I mean, they've beat the Spartans to pretty much any puck that's been up for debate. They're, right there to knock it back in the zone, and that's worrying for the Spartans because, again, we're 10 minutes into this first quarter, and you already kind of look gassed.
They look like it's the end of the game, and they're sandbagging at this point. They definitely need to find their edge. Michigan sends it up now in the neutral zone. However, it's collected by Michigan State, who will fire it back into the Michigan zone. Lieb has it. She goes back out to center ice now. Back over the Michigan blue line now. Lieb tries to take a shot, but fans on it, so Hannah Weinman of Michigan will retain it. Loses possession immediately, though. Anna Robluski for the Spartans now has it behind the Michigan net. Sends it back to the point with Nikki Siliano, who can't catch the pass, so it'll trickle behind her, and she'll have to go collect it from her own zone. Tries to clear it out, but horrible clear, and Dilo will collect it from Michigan and take an immediate shot that's blocked before it ever gets to the net. Michigan State now passes it up to Lieb, who's open on the right. She's got a shot opportunity and just takes it, kind of a weak shot, and will be knocked down by Sandrine Poneth, the Michigan goaltender, to stop the play. So face-off coming right to the left of the Michigan net.
Yeah, Poneth finally getting a chance to do something. I mean, it's been a pretty quiet 10 minutes for her. Team done a great job of not just, setting up offensively, but keeping it away from her, even when the Spartans do get a chance.
Yeah, they don't have the shots on goal up for this game. However, I believe that's Michigan State's first shot of the game 10 minutes into the first period. Teams battling in center ice now. Michigan finally able to get possession. They'll just fire it into the Michigan State zone. Stopped behind the net by Van Solkema. Lindahl tried to collect it. However, she's beaten to the puck. A scrum now ensues on the right-hand side, right by the hash mark. Finally sneaks out for Lindahl. Passes right to the center. One-timer shot and score by Katie German. Great one-timer opportunity set up by Lindahl. And again, that back door was just wide open.
I mean, that was probably the best play we've seen this game. That was set up perfectly. And the Spartans just, again, you've let a girl score on that exact same spot twice already. And now maybe they're so worried about the threat of Lindell coming up the right side, but that's not an excuse to completely ignore Katie German on your left-hand side. And, I mean, now you're down 3, and we're just over halfway through the first.
Van Solkema having a real bad habit of crowding one side of the net, leaving the other side just completely wide open. So Katie German easily able to put that in for the Wolverines. Center ice now, Michigan has it, tries to clear it, however blocked away. Will finally be able to clear it into the Michigan State zone and make a change here as Michigan State's Kira Motter goes to collect the puck. Battle behind the net with Lucy Hansen of the Wolverines. Tried to send ahead, but caught by Grace Bobby, so Michigan will keep it in their own zone. Up to the point now, loses possession. Michigan State will get it out. Just clears it down, so Michigan will go collect it in their own zone. Circling around the net, Keegan Gustafson passes it up to Grace Bobby at the center ice line. Tries to put it in the middle for Kelsey Swanson, who has it. Oh, she had Grace Garbati backdoor, tried to pass it, but was in the feet. That was on the tape. It was looking like another one-timer goal as Michigan State's going the other way with Katie Huber. Katie Huber passes it over. Couldn't see who that was, sorry. Backhanded shot that just went wide right of the net anyway.
I think it was Princeton.
Princeton, thank you. The puck will trickle out to center ice and they'll fire it back in. However, there's still Michigan State players in the zone, so delayed offsides and they'll have to circle around and wait. On the left side now, it's Huber again with the puck. She crosses over the blue line, drops it back for Princer. Great move around the Michigan defense and put it right back in the front for Huber, who was just too close and slams it right into the pads of Sandrine Poneth. So easy save there by the Michigan goaltender.
Starting to see the Spartans, finally set something up there. They slowed things down. They were able to take a moment to breathe and start placing shots a little bit better. Definitely a better look than kind of the frantic play we've seen from them so far.
Absolutely, and in the most respectful way possible. Princeton just absolutely broke Hannah Weinman's ankles there and had a great move to set up Huber for the one-timer. Now, right in the front of the net, there's a scrum. No one can get it, though. Morgan Lee will have it for the Spartans behind her own net. Tries to pass it back to the point, but it's right in between the two defensemen, so it goes the length of the ice, and Michigan State will have to go back and collect. Claire Leonard now for the Spartans has it for Michigan State. Going up the left side, back to Lieb. Lieb over the Michigan blue line. Tries to dump it ahead, but isn't able to, and it goes right into the skates of McGough. Michigan going the other way now. Samantha Carr has it. Tries to drop pass for Allison Flezar, however, she was too far behind her, and Michigan will have to regroup now.
I wish Carr would have taken that herself. She's had a great game so far, and I think she could have done something with it. I mean, I wouldn't have put it past her to beat both the defenders in the zone.
I agree. Now the puck behind the Michigan State net. Ellison Carey had it, but lost possession. I'll go back out to the defenseman, Galassini. Galassini creeping up now at the dot on the circle. Tries to pass in the middle of the ice. However, there are 3 Wolverine defensemen right there, so completely blocked away. Michigan State is able to keep in the zone, though. Ershin Schlee right in the slot. Changes possession a few times and then goes out to the corner, and Michigan will finally just clear this the length of the ice, so it'll be an icing call, but just get a breather there after Michigan State had a couple opportunities to make a shot and unable to capitalize on anything, though.
Kind of seeing things switch up here. Now the Spartans are spending more time in the zone. Wolverines are having to rely on their fast breaks, but obviously when you're up 3-0, it's not exactly something I have to worry about yet. Spartans just have a bit more momentum now, but Poneth has done a good job of keeping things out anytime a shot comes their way, and Wolverines just need to regroup.
Absolutely. We're finally seeing the Spartans come alive here with 6:50 remaining in this first period. In the Michigan zone, tried to clear out, but Michigan State has it at the center ice. Fires it back in right to the Michigan defenseman, McGough, so she'll take it herself over the blue line. At the hash marks now, just kind of backhands it towards the net. Van Solkema stops it. However, there's after the play, just totally leveling hit on Keegan Gustafson, who just got decked. Not sure what that was all about.
Yeah, went straight into the boards there. That was off Leonard. Doesn't seem like there's going to be any repercussions, but definitely unnecessary.
This is Michigan State week in both football and women's hockey, so definitely 2 schools that don't like each other at all. Michigan State wins the faceoff now. Ellison Schlee behind the net. Aaron Schlee, sorry. Tries to clear it, but just kept in by the Michigan defense. Fires a shot on net, however, right into the shin of Michigan State's Oakley Mickelson. left-hand side of the net now. Michigan State will try to clear it, still unable to. Emily Mazalewski from Michigan will keep it in. Battling behind the net now with a Michigan State defenseman. Has Lindahl right at the top of the circle, passes to her, pass back to Mazalewski. Back to the point now for Isabel German. German will send it ahead, tipped by Lindahl, but too far, and it'll go right to the net. Still collected by the Wolverines. Shot on net from the right-hand side, goes wide left. Kate German will try to collect on the left-hand side, loses possession, so Michigan State has it now in their own zone. Sends it ahead for Jessica Santi. Santi loses possession, will go back into their own zone. Michigan State's Gracie Anderson will collect it behind the net. Tries to pass it ahead, immediately stolen though. Lindahl right in front of the net. However, Van Solkema was expecting it this time, and a great glove save there after the takeaway and one-timer. Lindahl almost had her third of the night in the first period.
On that first shot that deflected off the right pad of Van Solkema, that was good reaction, better reaction, but still she's playing too much to her left. Kind of was able to adjust there though for that last shot. Put a good glove save on it. She needs to hedge her bets a bit more.
Michigan State now has it in their own zone, tries to clear it, but stopped by Ava Gargiulo of Michigan. Gargiulo right in front of the net, backhanded, but it goes behind the net. Battle in front. Finally, Lucy Hansen has possession of it in the middle and sends it wide. Back out to the point now for Michigan. Huge wrist shot from the point, easily gloved down by Van Solkema, so it'll be another stoppage in play. That was Keegan Gustafson with the wrist shot from the point. To the left side of the Michigan State net now, we'll have another face-off.
We don't have shot numbers here. Maybe I'll try and keep track of it later on, but I would be willing to bet it's probably at least 10-2 if I had to
Definitely
guess.
a lopsided shot right now. Michigan wins the face-off though, however, it goes right behind the net, so Michigan State will get possession. Tries to clear it out, but it's stolen by Kelsey Swanson. Back to the point. Gustafson takes a shot, blocked away as there was so much traffic in front there. So Michigan State will get it back out now. Tried to hit Megan McCluckey in center ice. A little too much power on it. A scrum now ensues. It's finally poked back out into the Michigan State defensive zone. However, the Spartans will be able to just recollect. Ciliano from Michigan State now pass it right to a Michigan player. No Spartan in the area. Loses possession, and Michigan State will just dump it in and change right now. The Wolverines will collect behind their own net. Backhand pass to Maddie Ferris going up the left-hand side. Sends it into the middle for, I can't see the number, I apologize. Into their own zone now. Number 27 for Michigan has it. Behind the net, battling her and Ciliano from Michigan State. Michigan finally gets possession with Allison Flezar. Flezar sends it to the point, Michaela McGough. McGough has shot right into the shin of Jessica Santi for Michigan State. Still in the zone. McGough unable to keep it in the zone, so they'll have to regroup now in the center ice.
Obviously, that one didn't work out. Wolverines did a great job of keeping the puck in the zone, allowing them to set up second chance opportunities and not have to take it out repeatedly. They've done a much better job than the Spartans have, per se, who they keep missing passes and having to regroup so there's no offsides.
Michigan State now has it in center ice. Mia Gasolini has it for Michigan State. Pass head intended for Reineck, however, she misses the puck completely, so Michigan will be able to take over. On the left-hand side now, it's Samantha Carr with it. A battle ensues, and the puck is shot to the other side of the ice where only Spartans are, so Michigan State will be able to collect it with Galasini. Over to Reineck now, still in their own zone, trying to get it out. Reineck will push it ahead and try to chase after it, however, she put too much power on it, so Michigan will take over possession now. Pass it ahead and again loses possession, but Lindahl takes it. Pass it ahead for Lucy Hansen. Hansen dropped back to Lindahl. Lindahl right in the goal line. Send over for Hansen, however, she misses the pass. Had a great one-time opportunity there. Hansen now in the left-hand side for the Wolverines. Over to Lindahl behind the net. Lindahl will lose it, and Michigan State takes over. Michigan State now going up the left-hand side. It's going to be Morgan Lieb. Sorry, Reineck, excuse me. They're going to go over the blue line, but they're going to call it offsides. So we'll have a face-off right at the center ice dot now. Good 2-on-1 opportunity brewing for the Spartans. However, just a little too much aggression there, and Lieb was about a foot over the blue line, so they called an offsides. Off the face-off now. Nobody's going to really win that one. Still scrubbing for it. Michigan is finally able to establish possession, pushes it forward. Grace Bobby trying to get past the Michigan State defenseman Claire Leonard. Bobby has it behind their own net. Loses possession, though, as Michigan State knocks it away with Gracie Anderson.
So she was trying to wrap it around the net there. She had two girls in front.
Michigan now takes it away and has it on the right-hand side in the Michigan State zone. Kelsey Swanson Puts it in front of the net. No one able to get possession of it. Finally backhanded by Grace Bobby, but just trickles wide left. Sent right in front of the net again. Nobody there. Back out to the point for Michigan to recollect with Caballos. Caballos sends it ahead. Sends it right to a Michigan State player, so Michigan State will now take it out of the zone. Over to the left for Lieb. Loses it and just trickles right to the stick of a Michigan defenseman, though. So Michigan has it now in their own zone with Ceballos. Ceballos sends it ahead for Allison Flezar. Flezar pass right into the middle of the ice, stolen by the Spartans. Reineck has it going over the blue line, takes a shot. Last second deflection from Gustafson there, so great job stopping that breakaway opportunity. Michigan now has it going the other way. Katie Cummings has it going over the center ice line, loses possession as well. Michigan State pokes it away, and Reineck has it for the Spartans going across the blue line. She'll just honestly give up and should go make a change. She had no one there with her for any offensive attack, so figured just to give Michigan the puck. Huber now steals it for the Spartans, right on the top of the circles, loses possession of it as it'll trickle behind the net. Her and Ava Gargiulo battle for the puck. Spartans win the battle behind their own net. He has Huber right in the front. Great blocking job by Keegan Gustafson to not let Huber get a backdoor opportunity as it'll trickle wide, and Michigan will just send it the length of the ice for an icing.
Definitely the most awake we've seen the Spartans so far. That was really great play by Reineck to pick that pass off. Notice the Wolverines while going for a line change. There's about 4 girls rushing in.
For sure.
Trying to get there, and luckily Gustafson got a stick on it. Came off pretty slow, trickling, easy stop for Poneth.
1 minute left in the first period here. 3-0 Wolverines still. Michigan wins the faceoff in their own zone. Will try to take it ahead with Ava Gargiulo. Gargiulo loses the puck. Princer takes it across the blue line for the Spartans. Sends it ahead for Huber. Unable to have full possession of it, so she'll lose it, and Michigan will take it the other way now. Michigan taking it across their own blue line, making a chain, so she's all by herself. It looks like Katie Cummings up there. It's poked back out to Lucy Hansen now on the left-hand side. Sends it behind the net where Michigan State collects it. Up the left side to Princer. Slaps it to the other side of the ice for Mackenzie Huber. Huber now will just dump it in right into the Michigan zone, or Michigan bench, I should say. Tried to just dump that and change, however, hit a Michigan player on the bench in the face.
I think that hit Katie German right in the face.
Yeah, she's adjusting her cage now. She definitely got down a little rattled. So face-off right in center ice now is the failed dump. Michigan wins the face-off. Back to McGough. McGough sends it ahead to Lindahl. Lindahl unable to get it into the zone. Poked away by Lieb of Michigan State. Back to Ciliano. Ciliano passes it ahead. Was intended for Gracie Anderson. Lost possession. Lieb now has it again. Slap shot right about 3 feet inside of the zone. Gloved down by Sandrine Ponda. So great job stopping that. I feel like with only 4.5 seconds left, she definitely had enough time to set something up. She just entered the zone and immediately took a slap shot from about 3 feet inside.
Not only did they have time, she had space. She could have taken that in more to try and get a shot off from closer. Instead, that slap shot, there just wasn't enough on it. It was real easy for Poneth. Just went right in her glove.
Michigan wins this faceoff and then just pushes it against the board to drain the 4 seconds. So at the end of the first, the score is 3-0 Michigan, beating the Spartans here in their own battle for the Paul Bunyan Trophy. Again, we don't have a shot counter. However, the gist was a lot to a little. Guessing Michigan had around 14 to 15 shots, and Michigan State probably had about 3 to 4. Unable to get any offensive going until about the last 5 minutes of that period. They look slow. They look like they couldn't really put anything together. What did you take away from that first period, Kendall?
Well, I took away that the Wolverines, at least even evident about the first minute and a half, that the Wolverines had something to prove, maybe more than the Spartans did. They came out just electric, especially I want to highlight Lindahl and Carr specifically. No one has caught up to them defensively. I mean, they have just been in either the wrong place or at the wrong time. Nobody has actually predicted what they were going to do yet and gotten in there defensively. They've been all over the Spartans, and for the Spartans, they just seem a little confused. Maybe there's not enough communication going on. Maybe there's been some changes recently. But there's been moments where their passes aren't connecting, and all of a sudden you got to get out of the zone, or it's offsides, or they're, leaving the back door wide open. Is taken advantage of not once, not twice, but 3 times for the Wolverines in that first period. They just need to, once they get in the locker room, focus on really making sure they're communicating so some of these kind of silly mistakes don't happen.
Great analysis, Kendall. Thank you. So, again, after the first period, it's Michigan leading the Spartans 3-0. We'll take a quick break and be back for you for the second period here on WCBN. Back for the second period here at Yost between Michigan and Michigan State for women's hockey. Michigan having a 3-0 lead after the first period. Outshooting the Spartans by quite a large... Spartans. Wow, that was a Boston accent. Outshooting the Spartans by a very healthy margin at the start of the second period. Michigan State will win the draw. Over to Princer on the right-hand side. Will just dump it in as they try to chase it down. Over to left-hand corner. Tried to be collected by Isabel German. Sent up. Stopped by the Michigan State defense. Slap shot from the point by Nikki Ciliano. Ciliano sends it wide right, though. Leonard for Michigan State will keep it in. Has it on the right D. Wrist shot towards the net. Not a lot on that. Is able to be stopped before it even gets there. Over to the right circle. Finally got out of the zone by the Wolverines as they'll take it up the ice. It'll be Mazalewski who sends it ahead. Tries to beat the Spartan defense. Is unable to. Now finally collects it as they didn't really do anything. Michigan State takes it back. Michigan State going up the right-hand side now. Princer has it. Over to the middle line, just sends it in. Michigan State making an early change here. The Wolverines will recollect with Lindahl on the right-hand side. Mazalewski tries to get it. Not able to contain it, though, and so it'll be sent back in. Michigan still retains possession. On the left-hand side now, Katie German sent to the middle, intended for Mazalewski. Over the blue line now, Mazalewski loses possession. Michigan State sends it back out to center ice, and they'll regroup. Battle now in front of the Spartan bench. No one able to gain possession. Michigan State finally does. Princer has it in the center of the ice. Over to the left-hand circle. Backhands it. Weak shot blocked away by Poneth there. Out to the blue line, Anderson just sends it back around. Michigan State on the left-hand side now has it with Megan McCluckey. McCluckey sends it out to the point for Galassini. Galassini tries to take a shot. Didn't get all of that, and it just trickles a little bit in and then cleared by the Wolverines. It'll go right down to the goalie, so no icing. Van Solkema just stops that one. So face-off coming down at the completely opposite end in Michigan State's own zone now.
Yeah, definitely not as exciting start to the period as maybe we saw in the first, but you know, definitely better omens for the Spartans, able to get things, you know, a little less frantic. They're giving up on pucks a bit too early. Saw that down in their own offensive zone. They just let the Wolverines clear it when they still had girls down in the zone. A bit confusing, but maybe it was just a miscommunication again.
As we discussed during the intermission, Michigan State definitely needs to find their offensive presence here, and already 2 minutes into the second period, they still are yet to find it as Michigan seems to dominate all possession. In center ice now, kicked away, changing possession a few times. Flezar from Michigan finally has it. On the left-hand side, crosses the blue line. She has Samantha Carr in the middle, tries to just deke out the defender and loses possession of it. Michigan State now has it behind their own net, tries to send it ahead for Carey. Loses it. On the right-hand side now, a battle for it. Trickles out for Allison Flezar. Flezar will just send it behind the net again for Samantha Carr to go collect. Tripped up a little bit, no call though. Sent back out to the point for Isabel German. Kind of just loses possession, and Michigan State will fling that out of the zone as they try to get it out of their zone for 5 seconds to make a change. Switch sides here now. Michigan State going from left to right, so they got the long change. They can't just dump it and change. They got to get past the center ice line as Michigan has it behind the Spartan net. Passed up to the point. Shot taken by Gustafson, easily gloved by Van Solkema. Was a great wrist shot by Gustafson from the left-hand side. However, Van Solkema just watched that all the way with no one in front of her, so she was able to easily glove that and have a face-off to their left-hand side.
Yeah, obviously 3 goals so far, but there's been many more shots on net so far. Van Solkema has done a better job recovering since kind of that first offensive barrage in the first half of the first period.
Meanwhile, Michigan State wins the draw. Is trying to deke out a few people, loses possession. It was shot right in front of the net by Garbati, however, just trickles wide. Michigan State has possession now, still in their own zone, trying to get it out in any way possible. Just standing behind the net is Mackenzie Huber of the Spartans. Finally, she'll clear it to center ice. Sent right back in by Gustafson, though. No Wolverines in there. Michigan State will have it now and just clears it the length of the ice themselves. Michigan now takes possession. Gustafson tries to clear it out. Hits off a Spartan. Is kept in the zone. Jessica Santi for the Spartans has it now on the right-hand side. Back to the point for Galassini. Galassini encroaching on the right-hand circle. Dekes out a defender. Goes behind the net. Pass it over to a winger on the left-hand side. Cross ice from Mackenzie Huber. One-timer. Deflected and just off the pad of Poneth.
Yeah, that was a big rebound. And Wolverines definitely got lucky there that nobody from the Spartans was in front to collect, as not only was it a massive rebound, it took them a second for anyone to even get there.
Michigan State has it again with Santi in the Michigan zone. Slap shot by Princeton right at the point, however, it goes over the net. It's a missed opportunity there. On the left-hand side now, the Spartans still have it. Finally, Michigan takes possession. Gustafson on the left-hand side now, going across her own blue line. Tried to send it ahead for Mazalewski, however, a little too much on that. Mazalewski will be able to find it at the end of the zone. Right at the bottom of the circle. Backhanded shot just across the crease. Nothing going. Michigan State passes it ahead to a player that was getting off the ice, so it will be icing as no one was there to collect the pass. It was intended for Anna Roblewski there. However, they didn't realize she was getting off, so just send it length of the ice, and they'll go back down for a draw right in front of the Michigan State net.
Some complaints there. I think Princeton thought that she was down quick enough to avoid the call, but they'll fall on deaf ears.
Well, it seems like they'll compromise here and do a face-off right at center ice. So, interesting decision, but either way, here we go. Michigan wins it. Back to Katie German on the left-hand side. German trying to push it into the Spartan zone. Finally is able to get it through as it goes behind the Spartan net. Now nobody there, though, except Claire Leonard for the Spartans, so they'll collect it. Right in front of her own net. Tries to pass it ahead, blocked away by Lucy Hansen. So Michigan now has it in the neutral zone. 3 Spartans convene on the Michigan defenseman, Isabel German. She's still able to have it, though. Pass across the ice for the other German. Takes it across. That's up to Lindahl. Lindahl has it on the right-hand side, down by the goal line. Now beneath it. Just kind of skating around on the right-hand side there. Finally passes the puck back to German. German back to Lindahl at the top of the slot. Shot. Blocker save by Velsokema, who go to the left-hand side. Lindahl goes and collects her own rebound. Finally back out to the point for Katie German. German over to Hansen. Hansen still on the left-hand side of the top of the circle, just doing circles over here. Trying to get any separation. Finally just knocked over by 2 Michigan State defenders. Puck trickles out on the left-hand side. Michigan State will just send this one down the ice, trying to get it out of their zone and regroup now. It'll be collected by Katie German in her own zone. Sent up for Hansen on the left-hand side. Crossing the Michigan State blue line now. Hansen on the left. Just dumps it in as Michigan's going to make a change and get some fresh legs. Michigan still has it now in the Spartan zone. Sending it behind the net, intended for Allison Flezar. Flezar over to Samantha Carr on the right-hand side. Over to the point for Maddie Ferris. Maddie Ferris will just dump it into the left-hand side, sorry. Only a Spartan there, so they'll be able to clear it. No Spartans ahead, though, so Michigan still retakes it with McGough at center ice. McGough up to Samantha Carr, heading into the zone, takes a wrist shot from the top of the circle, goes wide right. Spartans will collect on the left now. Pass ahead intended for Erin Schlee, however, just goes right over her stick, and it'll be down the entire length of the ice for an icing with 13:18 remaining in this first period.
Spartans definitely playing still pretty relaxed defensively, but they've done a better job of once the puck is, they're not just dumping it in and they're trying to actually set something up, kind of collapsing a few girls in front, trying to hopefully at least, kind of close the back door there that the Wolverines have taken so much advantage of in this one.
Michigan wins the draw in the Michigan State zone. Scrum goes on in the bottom corner. No one able to get possession right now. Battling going on there. Finally, it's won by Michigan State. Michigan State sends it up, however, it's kept in the zone. Again, down to the bottom right corner. I can't speak, sorry, for Gracie Anderson. Gracie Anderson will try to send it up for Eileen Carey, however, it's blocked away. Michigan now has it behind the Spartan net. Sends it in front, intended for Kelsey Swanson, however, just a little too much power on it. Kept in the zone by the Wolverines.
Just another example. The Wolverines doing a great job of, kind of patrolling that blue line and keeping the puck in so they don't have to, regroup.
Shot from the point now by McGough, however, just not a lot of power on that, so it goes right into the pads of Van Solkema, and she'll stop it for a face-off.
It's a good sequence by her. She was, there defensively to give her team another chance. A good shot. A save made by Van Solkema, but good little setup play. Now they'll get a face-off in the offensive zone.
Malazewski taking this face-off for the Wolverines. She wins it back to her defense. Mazalewski now has it again, sends it back to Lucy Hansen right behind the Spartan net. Over to the left-hand side now, passes it back to the defenseman Gustafson. Gustafson takes a shot right into the feet of a Spartan defender. Spartans now have it still in their own zone. Will finally clear it to center ice. Up to Allie Nelson. Nelson back to Princeton. Still at center ice now. Over to the left-hand side. Finally entering the zone. Trying to outspeed the Michigan defenders. It's going around the net. Sends it in front. Nobody there is able to collect it as 4 Michigan defenders are right in front of the net. Kept in the zone by the Spartans still. Mackenzie Huber has it in the left corner now. She has help from Gracie Anderson. Both them trying to find anything. Poked out, and Lindahl for Michigan will try to get it out. Kept in the zone by the Michigan defenseman Ciliano. Huber still has it into the middle of the ice. A little tied up in between the feet of Gracie Anderson. Unable to get a shot off right in the slot there. Still in the Michigan defensive zone. Gracie Anderson battling with Lindahl in the left corner. Finally is out to the neutral zone. Lindahl now has it across the blue line. Takes a shot. Weak shot just paddled away by Van Solkema there. Michigan State will have it in the other zone. Breakaway now for the Spartans, and she's tripped. That was Wroblewski trying to have a breakaway and just absolutely taken down by the Michigan defender. So that'll be at least a penalty, maybe a penalty shot. We'll see.
Yeah, that was Katie German on the trip there. She'll head to the box pretty immediately. That was evident. Not much you can do there. Obviously, there was a pretty evident scoring chance coming up.
They're going to say it wasn't a complete breakaway, so it won't be a penalty shot, just a penalty for Michigan State. But yeah, that was a clear takedown by Katie German. So a face-off now as Michigan State starts the power play right to the left of the Michigan goal. Michigan State wins the face-off. Just patrolling behind the net right now, looking for anybody. Goes back to the point for Claire Leonard on the right-hand side. Leonard sends it over to Ciliano. Ciliano takes a shot, easily blocked away. Scrum in front of the net now. Michigan finally were able to get it out. No one had possession. It was just sitting right in front of the goal. Finally able to be cleared by Grace Gabberty, trying to drain this penalty.
There were definitely a couple opportunities for the Spartans there that Wolverines got lucky that they didn't take advantage of. I mean, there were at least 2 or 3 second chance shots there.
Michigan State now has it again with Wroblewski in Michigan zone. Takes a shot blocked right in the front by Keegan Gustafson. Michigan State still has possession. Back to the point now. Ciliano has it, sends it ahead. Backhanded chance for Lieb. Goes over the net. Now it's just trickled out. Lieb has it on the right-hand side. Leaves it for Leonard, the defenseman. Leonard sends it cross ice, blocked away by Kelsey Swanson, and it trickles out of the zone, so they'll have to go out and go back in. Leonard has it for the Spartans on the right-hand side. Sends it in the middle of the ice. Missed the pass. Goes over to Mackenzie Huber on the left-hand side.
Yeah, great stick by Swanson there.
Michigan will get it and just clear it. About 10 minutes remaining in this period. 40 seconds left in the penalty kill for the Michigan Wolverines. Michigan State now in the neutral zone, taking it in with Princeton. Crossing from right to left. And they're going to say it's offsides on Mackenzie Huber. She was just about a half an inch over the line, so opportunity missed there with Princeton just flying across the blue line trying to get something with 30 seconds remaining.
Yeah, and definitely some outrage from the Spartans there, who again feel like it was maybe not the most fair call in the world for them.
So actually with about halfway through the second period now, me and Kendall are going to switch, and Kendall will take over on play-by-play, and I'll switch to color with 9:38 remaining, 3-0 Michigan.
Thank you for that lovely introduction. I kind of thought you were just going to stop talking.
Oh, no, I got a flair for the dramatic.
Wolverines get it out of the zone. They'll trickle all the way back to Van Solkema, and they'll have to start over. That's Galassini. And that'll be the end of the penalty for Katie German. Wolverines back to full strength, but Galassini gonna try and take it in herself. She meets a couple Wolverines trying to get it out, but it just bounces off her stick. They'll ring it around the boards and up ice. That's Hansen. Hansen's only got to beat one girl. Through the legs, but unfortunately she's tripped up. Loses the puck and her stick before it's picked up by Lindell. Lindell finds Malzewski in front. Her shot deflected, recovered by Hansen. Hansen back up to Ferris at the blue line. Takes a long shot, misses just a little bit to the left.
Just a bit outside.
Wolverines have to try and regroup, while Spartans come away with the possession of it. That's Siciliano. Where it's picked off by the Wolverines, they'll get another chance here, and there's nobody really wanted to get that one, and Van Solkema had to kind of extend all the way out to put a glove on that so she could get a whistle. It didn't seem like any of her defenders wanted to take care of it for her.
Definitely not. They kind of hung her out to dry. It was just far enough away where she can't cover the puck. However, none of her defensemen wanted to just tap it to her, so she kind of had to sprawl out and just dive on it there to get a frozen puck and a face-off.
Cummings takes the face-off for the Wolverines, and that initial shot is saved. Van Solkema stumbles over a bit, but the puck did not go in the net, and they'll take another face-off again in the offensive zone for the Wolverines. They're playing Tom Sawyer. I love this song.
She was lucky they blew the whistle there because Van Solkema kind of fell over after that, and the puck trickled right in front of her, so Michigan would have been able to tap it in.
Wolverines come away with the puck after the face-off. German has it at the blue line. She'll just kind of dump it in. Looks like she was maybe looking for Carr there, but had nothing going. We'll come back to her at the blue line before it's finally taken away by Schlee. Schlee's got Carr and German working on her, but manages to get the puck into the Wolverine zone.
Wolverines finally looking like they can't put together a lot of offense here for the first time. They're spending a lot of time in their own zone trying to get something started rather than just constantly attacking the Spartan goal.
German found Carr up ice, tried to just tip it in ahead of Motter, but nothing going. She'll have to wait for Bobby to come over for some help, but it's too late, and the Spartans almost managed to get it out before Bobby came back trying to tip it away. Kind of stumbles through the neutral zone before Wroblewski, my bad, wrong vowel, gets it into the Wolverine defensive zone. Isabel German knocks it around the boards for sister Katie. Gets knocked out of the zone. The Spartans will have to start over.
Neither team really able to get anything going at this later half of the second period. Just a lot of battles going on in the center ice.
After a bit of back and forth, Galassini and German battling for it along the boards. It trickles out and German comes away with it. Pass up ice intended for Swanson, no good. It kind of trickles away. And they'll have to fight for it. McCluckey, cross ice pass to Lieb, dumps it into the boards, and it looks like goaltender Cedrine Poneth is going to play that one. Spartans try to keep it in the zone, but instead it comes away for Swanson. She's only got to make Galassini miss, and she does. Her shot bounces off Van Solkema. It was a good scoring chance, but nothing going, and the Spartans will streak the other way with Lieb and Nelson. Lieb puts on an awkward shot on the side of the net. Spartans still fighting for it, but Poneth gets a glove on it, and the whistle blows.
Going back to that Michigan opportunity, that was such a great job by Kelsey Swanson to get separation. At 5'11", she's taller than most of the women out here, so she has a bigger wingspan and reach than pretty much all the girls on the Spartans team. Was able to just get that out of the hands, out of the reach, of the Spartan defense. Unable to capitalize on it, though.
Face off in the Wolverine zone. No one truly wins it, but the Wolverines come away with the puck. Clearing attempt is no good. Anderson dumps it back in. Plays some back and forth with her teammates before they find Lindell streaking up the ice. Taken away by Anderson.
Julia Lindahl, the alternate captain here for Michigan, is clearly where they run the offense through. We hear her name so much. She's at every position and manages to get the puck no matter what the situation is.
And she's on the score sheet thrice. I mean, she has the 2 goals, and then I'm pretty sure she has an assist on that German goal.
She was the 2022-23 Rookie of the Year and Offensive Player of the Year for a reason. She definitely puts points on the board.
Spartans have it in their own zone, doing a little back and forth. Pass up ice looking for Princeton, no good. Instead, it's going to be played by Poneth, who kind of thinks about passing it to a teammate there, thinks better of it, and then puts a glove on it. Just under 5 minutes remaining. Our score is still 3-0, as it's definitely been a slower second period for the Wolverines offensively.
Yeah, let's put it this way. It's been so slow, they're playing Creed, where not exactly the most hype song in the world. Great song, though.
You know what? I can't say much. Their neutral zone game does, in this one, has reminded me very much of their male counterparts. McGough has it behind her own net. She'll try and find Carr, but Reineck is coming in. She tries to put a shot off, but it's just a little too parallel, and instead just streaks by Poneth. And well, the Wolverines almost had a breakaway chance if it hadn't been for maybe a tripping Cummings, and Cummings and Ferris just almost took each other out. Spartans have it now. Errant pass.
Looks like there's an injury to Maddie Ferris for Michigan. She limped over to the bench slowly and was finally able to get off, and now is talking to one of the trainers for the Michigan team.
Yeah, her and Cummings collided in the neutral zone, and seems like it may have messed her up a little bit. Hopefully nothing serious. Carr has it now in the neutral zone, dumps it in. Galasini looking up ice for Nelson and Wroblewski, but instead it's taken by Isabel German. Passes up to Katie, through the legs of Bobby. She'll fight Campbell for it, and it ends up back in the Wolverine defensive zone with German. Up ice for Swanson. Just got to try and make Modern miss. Gets around her, but a little too awkward of an angle for a shot. Pass attempt out, hits the side of the net, actually. German's slap shot attempt, no good. It bounces off Mickelson. And now Wolverines have to clear, avoid the offsides. So again, just kind of hacking it through the neutral zone.
Yeah, no one having a real extended offensive attack here. Everyone at the most is getting one shot and then just out of the zone. So neither team able really to establish anything in the second period after we saw an offensive onslaught from the Wolverines in the first period. With 2:45 remaining in the second, they really haven't been able to put anything together here. As they almost do.
Siciliano fails to clear it. Gustafson had a slap shot from the blue line that almost trickled 5-hole on Van Solkema. Instead, it's a save, and the Wolverines have to try again. Gustafson again at the blue line will put another long shot off. This one was going to miss wide left anyway, but Van Solkema gets a right pad on it.
We talked about Lindahl in the offense, but Michigan clearly likes running the defense through the German sisters and Keegan Gustafson. You hear their names a lot, and they really like to send it back to the point to those three whenever they can, because they are able to, their ice vision is better than many of the other defensive players here on Michigan.
Spartans try and take it the other way. Nelson just kind of lets it go, and Poneth will once again glove it just to avoid any mistakes that happened. The Devils? Jake Allen went out to play the puck. It was Jake Allen, right?
I think so.
Former Blue. St. Louis legend.
Hey, what's the age-old saying? If you're a goaltender, tend the goal.
Pritzen had a great chance in front. She was looking for Huber there. Fortunately, Huber wasn't looking at the goal, and a waste of an opportunity for the Spartans. And they'll have to clear out. Difficult by the fact that Santee was trying to kind of getting into it with a Wolverine defender, and instead they can't touch the puck.
With 1:20 to play here in the second period, both teams really look to just be limping to the finish line here, trying to get that 15-minute break and maybe regroup for the last frame. I gotta keep criticizing them, because the second I say something negative, one team will do something amazing, as Pritzen has a rocket of a slap shot.
Yeah, that was a great shot by Princeton, who's definitely had some frustrations in this one. I've seen her talking to the ref a little bit. Definitely felt like there was a bit more on that slap shot than just a good scoring attempt.
Yeah, we've seen her do a couple of things. The senior from Las Vegas is easily the fastest player on this Michigan State team. I mean, just watching it, she blows by everyone and seemed to get a little frustrated here and is taking it out on the puck.
Hansen has a breakaway. She's only got to beat Siciliano. Shoots it and easily gloved by Van Solkema. She had Lindahl cross ice if she wanted to look for it, but with just about literally 59.9 seconds left. Those are mistakes you make when you're tired.
After the rough first 6 minutes for Michigan State, Van Solkema has actually been pretty solid in net. Unfortunately, she can't get any offensive help here from the Spartans.
Unfortunately, she cannot score a goal.
Facts.
Schlee has it behind her own net. Can't manage to get it out. The German sisters at the blue line doing a good job patrolling. That one time it was Isabel. Shot on net, deflected pretty easily. Reineck takes a tumble and loses the puck. German had a chance to skate in, but instead she lost it in the skates of Schlee. Lindahl has it in the neutral zone, just under 20 seconds now remaining. Back in their own defensive zone. Lindahl streaking, trying to beat Siciliano and maybe get one last breakaway attempt in the second period, but as the clock ticks down, it looks like they're just going to let this one die in the neutral zone. One last dump-in attempt from the Spartans, and the whistle sounds and the period's over. Same score at the end as we had at the end of the first, 3-0 in favor of the Michigan Wolverines. Not anywhere near as exciting of a period as we had in the first one, but perhaps a bit more defensively sound, especially from the Spartans. Zach, what do the Wolverines need to do to come out stronger in the third?
Well, before I answer that question, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. After the first 5 minutes of that period where Michigan came out swinging again, that was just bad hockey for 15 minutes. No one could get possession of the puck for more than 30 seconds at most. It was a battle of the neutral zone. And when they had shots, it was just one shot and that's done. Change, regroup, do something else. Michigan, at this point, doesn't even need to really do anything offensively. They just need to sit back and play a good defensive game. Michigan State, on the other hand, needs to find anyone other than Asher Princeton to do something offensively, because she probably has all of Michigan State's shots. She's the one flying into the zone. Everyone else seems like they're skating through quicksand. They seem exhausted, like they've played a 3-game set when this is the first game of the week. Michigan State needs to get something going offensively, because right now they're just stuck out there and can't get past the German sisters and Keegan Gustafson on Michigan's defensive front.
Absolutely. Spartans need to maybe get a kick in the rear in the locker room, try and get something going. Otherwise, we might keep the same score through the end of the third. We're going to take a quick break for the second intermission. We'll be back your way in about 14 minutes and bring you the final period in this rivalry game between the Michigan Wolverines and the Michigan State Spartans. If you go anywhere, make sure you're back in 14. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Yost Ice Arena. I hope you didn't go anywhere, and if you did, I hope you're back. Get ready to take the opening face-off to kick off the final period in this one. It's going to be Wolverines puck, arguably won by Michigan State, but then it goes into the bench of State anyway, and we'll have to do it all again.
Great start.
Thematically appropriate. This time Wolverines come away with it a bit more handily. Lindahl hits it up the ice after some confusion. She'll take it herself. She gets her pocket picked by Siciliano. Can't manage to connect with Lieb. Instead, German knocks it back in. This time, after a bit more controversy, they'll get the puck out. But Hansen will just take it right back, and Nelson kind of just shoved Katie German's head into the ice, but I guess we're not talking about that.
Yeah, they're not going to call a penalty. It looked a little aggressive there, where she kind of just plowed her face into the ground. Like, I don't know how else to
And
put
it was like not a play. Like
no,
the puck
it was well behind the play.
The puck was fully gone. It was just German got a face full of ice there, but I guess the refs just don't officiate that, and we'll get a neutral zone face-off. Flessar tries to kind of pass it back in for McGough, but it gets taken away by Reineck. Nice cross-ice pass, but it was to Carr.
Flessar has some familiarity with the Spartan team, as she is a transfer from Michigan State herself.
And she get it out of the zone. Cummings will take it up the right-hand side. Puts a brilliant move on her defender, and why not take it 5-hole and put the Wolverines up 4-0 with a brilliant play.
Absolutely. What a move by Katie Cummings there. Just completely deked out the Michigan State defense and put a completely 5-hole on Isabella Van Solkema. Was able to just wait until she's sliding over to the other side of the crease, saw that little bit of daylight in between the pads, and just snuck it right in.
I don't know if they get to pick their goal songs, but this Wham, Everything She Wants, excellent choice if it is, and if not, it's a great choice by the DJ. Wolverines take a face off, but Spartans knock it back out blue line. This time it's Carey bringing it up the left-hand side. Did not mention it before, Spartans are shooting on your left-hand side, Wolverines shooting on your right-hand side. But Carey's shooting into the pads of Paneth as that was deflected. Carey takes it again, gets another shot right open from the middle of the ice. That time she'll miss high and right.
One thing we noticed, all of Michigan State's shots that they get power behind have pretty much all missed the net completely. When they put power on it, their accuracy goes out the window.
Another missed shot gives Flessar the chance to bring the puck up the ice. Pushes past both Siciliano and Schlee, and they just kind of seem like they're lounging out there. No hustle at all. Puck gets knocked back into the Wolverine zone. It'll be easy for Wolverines to collect it. That's Gargiulo. Goes all the way down this time to the right-hand side. Spartan takes a hard hit into the boards, but nobody caused it.
Galassini just lost an edge and fell into the boards. Now she's slow to get up. Looks like she hurt herself there.
Yeah, and the Wolverines have puck control in the zone right now.
She cannot put any weight on her right foot. She's struggling to get back to the bench right now.
Spartan's finally able to get another person in, as Hansen has a good backhand chance that's deflected by Van Solkema. Now Ozuski comes up to get it. Up to Gustafson at the blue line. Lindahl has a chance at the rebound from right in front of the net, but just kind of gets pushed into the boards. Puck back at the blue line. Gustafson knocks it in. Lindahl dumps it in. This time the Spartans manage to lift it, and it'll go all the way down. Paneth gonna play it, just gently nudges it over to Gustafson. But Hansen coming in, or Garbody take a good little neutral zone interaction, pass it back and forth. For Spartans manage to make them work for it a bit more. It's Bobby that comes away with it.
And just observing, not being critical, this game has slowed down incredibly. Both teams look exhausted. When it sounds like there might be some more breaks in the play than usual, it's just that slow. These ladies are clearly very tired, and it is showing. They did not use their energy wisely and seem to be totally gassed entering this third period.
Yeah, Wolverines came out to a quick start in that first one, and it was to their benefit. They put 3 goals up, and at that point, well, you know, they're maybe not the best choice. They didn't really need to be, whereas it seemed like the Spartans were just, you know, tired from the start as Wolverines win the face-off in the offensive zone.
And now looking at a 4-0.
And German just trying to get the puck in front of the net. Garbity's in a lucky break, and she'll put it 5-hole, make this game 5-0. It really did not seem like that was an intentional play at all.
And from the reaction by Garbity, that was completely accidental. Great for her getting her 2nd goal of the year. However, she was as shocked that it went in as the entire Michigan State team.
Well, it really just feels like German had turned around, was trying to put something on the net, as, you know, just obviously it's always a good move to try and get the puck in front of the goaltender. Garbity was just in the right place at the right time, and unfortunately for Van Solkema, that puck slips between her legs and puts the Wolverines up 5-0.
As I was saying before the goal, which now is even more so, now facing a 5-0 deficit, the Michigan State team looks all but completely dejected. Like all motivation they had to try and tie this up is seemingly gone, and we'll see if they can try and find it in this next few minutes and get one back to maybe make an incredible comeback here.
A 3-0 lead is hard to come back from. A 5-0 lead's got to feel pretty impossible. But the Spartans are now in the offensive zone. Puck right behind the net for Princeton. Tries to put a shot on it, bounces off the crossbar. McCluckey keeps it in. That shot on net for Poneth, saved easily. Spartans will take an offensive zone face-off here. Although I'll take it as a face-off, but it's only offensive for the Spartans. 15 minutes remaining in this one. Our score 5-0. Thank you all so much for listening to our first ever broadcast of the Michigan women's hockey team. It's not the end of the game, obviously, but I just felt like I take a moment to thank you all. I had the time. Everyone hits the ice for some reason. Just
looks
people
like they're doing a slalom down there.
People tripping all over each other before the puck finally gets knocked to the boards. Still in the offensive zone, but the Wolverines come away with it. I think that was Dila who knocks it ahead into the Spartan zone. Ciliano finds Carey, still in their own zone before it's finally taken up and out by Schlee. She'll put a long shot off that's easily saved, deflected off the opponent's right pad. Clear attempt is good, knocks off the boards and all the way into the Spartan zone. Carey just hacks it back in behind the net and behind Poneth. Making Huber battle for it in the corner against Gustafson.
And I know as an announcer, you should never call a game before it's over, but I made a point where they could try and make a comeback here, but with 13 and a half minutes remaining, Michigan State looks like they're at Sunday skate around. Like they're coasting, they got their hands on their hips most of the time. They are pretty much waving the white flag. Just want to get this game over with and head back to East Lansing.
Spartans might have a better outcome on Saturday, but you're right, at least for this one, it feels kind of over. As Galassini had it behind the net, she'll take it all the way up and around the boards before it gets stolen by Hansen. Knocks it off the boards and ahead, gonna try and skate through a couple different Spartan defenders, puts a great move on Princeton, and again, finds 5-hole to double the Wolverines' lead from when we started this period. It's now 6-0 after a brilliant sequence from Lucy Hansen.
What a move. And again, pretty much the same move has worked on Velsokema, the last 3 goals. Just a deke out of the defense and then putting it right in the 5-hole. Lucy Hansen able to get her 4th goal of the year right there. Just simply outskated the defense, who again, like I said, are pretty much coasting and just have given up on this. and she just pokes a 5-hole for the Wolverines' 6th goal of the night.
Like I was starting to set up, it looked like she was going to go ahead and take it through about 3 different Spartans kind of converging, and it looked like there were none as she really showed off the skills there, and that was definitely highlight reel worthy.
The 2023-24 Offensive Player of the Year in Lucy Hansen, definitely seeing some flashes of greatness tonight. The transfer from Franklin Pierce University.
Spartans have it in their zone. That pass was attempted up ice for Wroblewski, but instead it found the stick of a Wolverine, and after a bit more back and forth, it'll be Hansen taking it up the right-hand side again, this time trying to get past McCluckey. Looked cross ice for Lindahl, just a bit ahead of her. And she beat Wroblewski to the boards, but still loses the puck, and Spartans will get a chance to kind of recoup and recover, or they would if they didn't pass it right into the stick of Isabel German. So they'll have to start the clearing attempt all over again.
I'll tell you what, Kendall, both Hansen and Lindahl both have an A on their jersey, which usually stands for alternate captain, but tonight it stands for always open, because they are the only 2 Wolverines who always seem to be able to be right in the front of the net with not a single Spartan around them.
It definitely feels like I've said both of their names at least 100 times tonight. Spartans finally get enough to get over the blue line into the Wolverine zone, but a pretty soft shot ends up once again being gloved down quite simply by Ponathan. With 11:22 remaining, Spartans need to start picking it up if they want a chance of coming back in this thing.
Yeah. I'm going to not say that comment. They got 11 minutes left.
It feels a little. I know what you mean. It feels a little hopeless for Sparty.
It feels about as hopeless as wanting a blizzard in the Phoenix metro area. You're down 6 goals with 11 minutes left, and you look like you're skating through a quicksand. If I'm Michigan State right now,
Princeton, who's once again has been the best player on the ice for the Spartans, had a great little deke there herself, but it's going to be saved off the pads of Poneth. It looks like, honestly, that Princeton had tried to go for the same move that worked against her goaltender.
Yeah, well,
went 5-hole.
She's seen it go against her goalie 3 times. She probably was like, hell, I might as well try this against the other team, see if it works out. And no one else on the Spartan offense seems to want to do anything tonight, so of course she's going to give it a shot.
Another shot on net by Lieb. Again, deflected by Poneth, and it seems like the Spartans found a little bit of a spark there, but couldn't get the shot off after that really great play by Princeton. Seems like maybe there's some motivation there, but luckily Wolverines goaltender took care of business. Puck circles out of the Wolverines offensive zone, and Sparty has to regroup. Battle in the corner for it. German comes away with the puck. Passes up to the other German. And Dila going to try and beat the icing call, but McCluckey gets there first and will take it back.
We were talking about saying Lindahl and Hansen so much tonight on forward. On defense, it's literally been the German sister show, which, by the way, as a announcer, it's an announcer's dream to have 2 ladies with the same last name that are the same defensive pair.
I don't know.
Always a great opportunity.
What game it was, what team, but I feel like I've called a game where there were multiple sibling pairs. And I think at that point I had just given up, and I was like, you need to just start using context clues to figure which one I'm talking about.
I have.
They've been football, because I think they play different positions, so I could just say their names and get away with it. As Wroblewski has a chance. Again, pad save by Poneth, knocked the puck in front of the net before she really got a chance to recover. Shot from Siciliano tried to be deflected by Spartan in front, but Poneth isn't sweating, and we'll get a stoppage in play.
See, that has been Michigan State's problem all night. Rebound bounced out right to Oakley Mickelson, who had essentially a wide open net on the left-hand side, but she was so lackadaisical in getting to the puck that by the time she finally got it, Poneth had more than enough time to scoot over to the other side of the net. If she showed a little bit of hustle, she would have been able to just knock that back door so easily.
Yeah, it's a tale of 2 very different tapes for the Spartans and the Wolverines, where it feels like the Wolverines have had somebody constantly in on the net, backdoor to, collect on those big rebounds. Spartans haven't had anyone, as Lindahl has a chance to get in there all alone. She's got to go behind the net to get the puck. She'll take it all the way around, put a shot on net herself. Pad saved by Van Solkema, but it looked a little uneasy. Spartans this time will take it up. That's Princeton again. Just try to get the puck in front of the net, and it trickles out and through. And again, just like you mentioned, another missed opportunity as Hansen will take it up herself. And she'll put a shot on net. That's saved by Van Solkema. 8:36 remaining in this one. Get a little black-eyed peas going. Face-off in the Spartan zone. Won by the Wolverines. Back for Gustafson. Long shot. Saved by Van Solkema, and we'll get a repeat of that previous play. That was our bad. They have changed goaltenders. That's no longer Van Solkema. Not exactly sure when that change happened. My apologies. That's kind of completely unprofessional. But it is now Brooklyn Maddox in net.
In our defense, they have the exact same helmet and pad set up, so it looked like the same goalie. And we figured after you give up a touchdown, you might as well just leave her in. But they made the change to Maddox.
From our angle, all we can see is the 3. And Maddox is now, it doesn't matter who I say the goaltender is because there's nobody in net.
Michigan, sorry, I shouldn't laugh. It's so unprofessional. Michigan State pulling the goalie here with 8 minutes left, down 6-0.
There was a penalty. That's why.
There's a penalty. I was like, that is a bold move. I felt like we were in dodgeball when Ben Stiller's like, not Ben Stiller, Jason Bateman's like, it's a bold strategy, Cotton. I was like, if they pull the goalie down 6, that's a Patrick Waugh type move right there. That'd be amazing. But no, it's a delayed penalty. My fault. Apologies, everybody.
That's going to be on Swanson. I think it was hooking. Yeah, once again, apologies for everyone watching at home. It is Maddox in net. I'm not exactly sure when they put Maddox in net. If I can find that out, I will tell you, and I will apologize again.
I'm disappointed, selfishly, because I want to have fun here. Not making fun. I just think this is great. Michigan State has a goalie on their team named Julia Gross Turkey, which she is an indigenous player from Ontario. That is the coolest last name I've ever heard in my entire life. So I was hoping she'd get in so we could give her the time of day.
Unfortunate for us. It does not seem like we're going to be getting a Gross Turkey appearance. And I checked the hockey Twitter, and I couldn't see anything exactly on the goaltender being pulled. So, unsure of when that actually happened. My professor is here. That's what I also figured out from the Twitter. Once again, the Spartans have a power play, but I was able to tell you that I saw my professor tweeted about this because all they're doing is kind of trying to get something going from their own zone. It's going to be, once again, Princeton taking it in all the way herself.
Princeton's the whole team. She's the whole team. We've been saying this all night. She just took another slap shot from the point. If it doesn't go through her, Michigan State's not getting a shot.
Lindahl almost has a shorthanded opportunity, and that's going to be a delayed call this time on the Spartans.
On Princeton, too. So Michigan State is now completely done because she'll be out for 2 minutes.
Minute remaining on the Swanson call. Now it'll again be Princeton come in and take her own turn in timeout.
You know, we're an unbiased network. However, in a 6-0 game, there's definitely a feeling of enforcing the little brother, or little sister in this case, storyline with Michigan State just getting, in all due respect, destroyed in this game, especially with Princeton out now.
If there are Sparty fans on here, and I can say this because I won't be broadcasting it, I don't think we're the favorites on Saturday, okay? I don't really think our football team is the one predicted to win this year. So if we're taking a little too much joy in this, it's because I probably won't, this time Saturday night, I will probably feel pretty dead inside.
Well, it's basically, will Michigan State be able to stop an Army West Point offense, considering we don't throw the ball? But that's besides the point.
Wolverines taking it up the ice. Shot attempt there by Gargiulo. No good. Bounces off her defender, and they'll scrap for it in front of the net. Spartans trying to regroup. It's McClucky taking it up. Gets past Gargiulo and puts one in. That was a good.
That was just insane.
And that was a great play by Megan McClucky. Just made Gargiulo miss and put it, top right-hand corner to get the Spartans on the board and give them a bit of a breath of life over there with 6:13 remaining.
And that was the first time we've really seen anything of note from Megan McClucky, the freshman Spartan who last year played AAA for Big B Coffee. So she's played high-level hockey before, just we haven't seen anything yet, and just absolutely made Gargiulo look silly, with all due respect. Just absolutely went around her and then put it in the top right corner for the Spartan goal to end the shutout going for Poneth. What a move by McClucky there.
Wolverines coming away with the puck after the face-off. German to German, and Katie takes it up the right-hand side. Trying to get past Siciliano. Wolverines do have a power play for the next 50 seconds. Long kind of trick, like knuckleball shot, misses a little bit to the left. Wolverines keep the puck in. Hansen cross ice for German, looking for her sister.
That German-to-German connection is absolutely pristine at this point, by the way.
I would hope so.
The two seniors, both 03s, have played with each other their entire career. They both played at AAA at Meyer, which is now Big B Coffee, but have just been each other's defensive pair pretty much their entire life.
Hansen puts another shot on, and Maddox didn't know where it was. Stood back up. The puck was still just sitting on the ice. Had to get back down and butterfly to try and cover that one. Still 14 seconds remaining on the Princeton penalty, and 5:16 remaining in this one. Long shot misses high.
Hail Mary there. That had an arc on it.
And Wroblewski tries to take it in herself. She's got about 3 different Wolverines in front, though, and McClucky takes a tumble at the blue line, and the puck will trickle all the way back to Maddox. Passes it to Leonard.
Michigan State is still not getting anything going with about 4.5 minutes remaining in this game. They're struggling to get out of their own zone at this point. Even when there's not a single Michigan player in the zone, they just can't complete passes.
McGough puts a shot on. This is kind of parallel. Behind the back pass. And the shot attempt is no good. That was Fletzer, my mistake, that had the pass initially and saved by Maddox. Otherwise, that would have been another highlight reel worthy play.
Great opportunity for Fletzer there against her former team. Had a great one-timer from right at the hash marks in the slot. Just put it right into the chest of Maddox, so unable to get anything past her.
However, Spartans have returned to full strength, even for a bit, but we're still in the Spartan zone, so hasn't really felt it. As someone has lost their sticks, which is kind of hanging out in front of the net. Whistle blows after Maddox covers the puck. Just under 4 minutes remaining. 6-1 is our score. With another face-off in the Spartan zone, won by the Wolverines. Knocked over the stick of Gustafson by Princeton. She has Lieb wide open in front of the net, who puts another great shot on, bar down and in.
What a setup by who else? Princeton sets that up absolutely perfectly for Lieb to just put it, again, top corner. The top corner seems to be Poneth's weakness, so if they would have figured that earlier, they might have had a shot here. But again, that play was all thanks to Asher Princeton flying up the right side and hitting Morgan Lieb right in the tape in the slot.
Yeah, We've mentioned Princeton obviously a lot, who feels that she's been on the ice this entire time tonight. Doesn't look gassed at all. And it's now 6-2, still in favor of the Wolverines.
Sparty trying to make this just not an absolute boat race here, trying to make it look a little close with 3.5 minutes remaining.
Garbity gets shoved into the boards. But Swanson comes up for some help. Got to try and get it away from Anderson. We'll say, do that again. So once again, Anderson working on Garbity. This time she gets some help from Huber, but Anderson comes away with it. Knocked around the boards. Princeton trying to take it. Asher Princeton again making Sabalos miss. Puck just kind of loose in front of the net after the initial save by Poneth. Princeton keeps it in at the blue line.
Poneth playing without a goal stick here as it's behind the net. Finally able to get it back to her.
That was almost dangerous, as literally the second that German handed the puck to Poneth, a shot comes in, and I think that was Huber and German exchanging some extracurricular activities there.
Getting a little chippy here towards the end.
Throwing
punching
hands,
each other
if
in
you
the
will.
face. They're actually going to get them both for a penalty here.
Not anywhere near as lenient as maybe they are in the men's game, where it feels like after every puck that's stopped by a goaltender, someone's shoving someone. They're gonna put both of them away for the next two. That's Huber and German, like I mentioned, I think. The angle we were
Probably.
at that I cannot
There's two of
see
them.
the
It's
number.
more likely one of them.
I believe it's number 10 though, Katie German. Neutral zone face off. 2:47 remaining. Both teams will be 4-on-4 for the next 2 minutes unless something interesting happens here. Wolverines gonna make something happen. Working in on the net is Malazewski. First she takes it back around the board. Lindahl comes in to get some help and get away from the Spartan defenders, where she tries to take it herself, puts an awkward angle shot on net, saved by Maddox. Lindahl, Schlee, bunch of girls over there. For Wolverines come away with it. Another long kind of loping shot, this time from Ferris. Spartans can't manage to get it out.
With only 4 players aside on each team, you really see how tired everybody is, where everyone just looks kind of done. Total trip there. However,
Yeah, Hansen tried to bring it in, hit the deck, probably due to some Spartan interference. We're over halfway through the penalty for both teams, under 2 minutes to play.
With just over a minute to play at this point, I'm pretty sure everybody just wants to get this over with.
McGough bringing it up the ice. Hansen comes away with it, tries to put a backhand shot on, just slips off her stick a little bit, so it'll miss wide left. McGough, another shot attempt this time. And the blue line may have bounced off the stick of a Spartan. Under a minute to go. 5 seconds to go on the penalties. Hansen, nice little move there that brings Lieb to her knees. Hansen gets the puck again, tries to put another backhand on. That one will miss wide right this time for variety. Gargiulo takes it in, got 3 Spartans on, so just put a long shot on net. Maddox makes the initial save but drops it, luckily recovers. 20 seconds remaining. Knocked back in by German, who gets bodied by Huber, who maybe she'll fight again, because that was a big hit, and kind of unnecessarily, but not going to make that much of a difference as the clock is slowly trickling down. 4 seconds remain. Behind the net, Cummings has it, and that'll do it. That final buzzer sounds. Michigan Wolverines 6, Michigan State Spartans 2.
Yeah, that entire game, Michigan just dominated. With the exception of the second period where nobody really did, they just completely controlled the offensive attack the entire time. If you're Michigan State, you got to be disappointed for so many reasons. You couldn't help out your goaltender, who for the most part did a great job. You could not get any offensive going with the exception of Pritzen, who did an amazing job, but you can't. It's a team sport. You can't do it all by yourself. And their defense just looked silly compared to the Michigan attack. And worst of all, you got to get on a bus to East Lansing now. I mean, if you're Michigan State, you just all around not a great night for the Spartans.
Yeah, absolutely. Just a rough one. And we won't belabor the point for too long, but Zach, I would like to get your MVP, maybe for both sides. We'll give the Spartans a little bit of love because there will not be any love from me, or I'm guessing you, in Michigan Stadium on Saturday.
Oh, God, no. Well, for Michigan, it's obviously Julia Lindahl. She's Michigan's best player in the stats and in the eyeball test. She is faster than anybody on the team and is just able to create opportunities that come out of nowhere. She finds people open. She gets open for the backdoor slam. She just is clearly the best Michigan player on the ice. For Michigan State, as we said, it's obviously Asher Princeton. She's the fastest player on both squads and has the most heart, clearly, as she was just completely engaged until the very end when even some of her teammates gave up. However, I do want to shout out Isabella Van Solkema as well, because while you gave up so many goals, you were pulled. Yeah. However, with the exception of the barrage in the first 3 minutes, for most of the game, she played very well. She stopped a lot of chances by Michigan. We don't have the shots on goal. However, Michigan had a lot of shots on goal. So percentage-wise, it wasn't the worst game ever. She just had no help offensively and from her defense. So in terms of a one-woman show trying to do it all by herself, I still think she did a great job.
Couldn't agree more. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us here on a Thursday night, our inaugural women's hockey broadcast. I hope you guys had fun. Hopefully we'll be doing more of these in the future. That is TBD, but we'll make sure to, again, update you if that does happen. 6-2, our final score, once again, in favor of your Michigan Wolverines. Zach, thank you so much for joining me on this one.
Oh, it's been a pleasure. I've wanted to do this since I stepped foot on campus. I was trying to advocate to add women's hockey for a while.
So for Zach Warshaw, I'm Kendall Spencer. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll leave you, as we always do, with a good night and go blue.